And welcome to this next episode of the Market Value Chart Show, right here at 6 Scale Cantina. I'm Dark Jedi Aries, and we have a few interesting Hot Toys topics to discuss today. First and foremost being Luke Skywalker previous releases. They're really trending up in the market, but with the imminent release of a Mandalorian version of Luke Skywalker, are those prices going to come crashing down? Plus, we got some big movers over just the last few days on the market value chart. Let's take a look right now. Okay, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina. So, the first topic of today is going to revolve around the announcement from Hot Toys of the Darktrooper from the Mandalorian Season 2. So, in some of these press images released by Hot Toys, you can see that they are picturing Luke Skywalker in some of these pictures. Now, there's the black cloak that they're showing on there, which is the color cloak that he wore in the season finale. So I think that this kind of tells a story that an imminent release from Hot Toys for the Luke version from Mandalorian is forthcoming. So I think the question on a lot of collectors' minds is going to be, hey, is this going to affect the recent uptrend of the Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker prior releases from Hot Toys that are just right now skyrocketing up in price, as you can see here on the screen. So you got both Endor versions of the Hot Toy releases, the deluxe and regular, and also the Return of the Jedi version of Luke Skywalker that we talked about in the first episode, that they have just been trending up as a huge mover. And I think part of the reason is because, and the main reason is because, people want that figure to display next to their other Mandalorian figures. Because the Return of the Jedi releases, prior releases of Luke Skywalker, it kind of look like Luke Skywalker from the Mandalorian, season 2 finale of the way Luke appeared. It looks like a Return of the Jedi Luke. So I think first and foremost, that's the reason why you're seeing an influx in the secondary market. And I think that an imminent release from Hot Toys of a Mandalorian version are going to send these figures back down to earth. Now, however, something to keep in mind, which can put the trend of these figures perhaps in a different place than maybe what we're thinking ultimately, is the fact that Luke Skywalker is reinvigorated in the minds of Star Wars fans. So when he made that appearance in the season finale of The Mandalorian for Season 2, he just kicked major butt. I mean, that was Luke Skywalker of old. That, I was sitting there cheering, and he cut through those darktroopers, and man, he was just, he was just stoic. He was just a man. And, I think that the way he was portrayed in the sequel trilogy, it wasn't that exciting. And I think that, the way he was portrayed here in The Mandalorian, boy, people remember, that's Luke Skywalker. And, my case in point with this is not only did the Return of the Jedi figures see an uptrend in the secondary market when he made the appearance on The Mandalorian, so did a New Hope version of Luke. That is trending up. So did the Crate version of Luke. That is also trending up in price. So I think that that's something, really interesting to keep an eye on. You can see it right here, one that just sold on eBay recently for over $300. Now on the market value chart, somewhere around $295, which we'll take a look at that at the end of the show. But, at the end of the day, I think that perhaps some collectors are going to want different variations, different versions of Luke Skywalker in their collection, kind of like they want different versions of the Short Trooper. Remember, those two releases of the Short Trooper by Hot Toys last week, they didn't affect the original Rogue One release of the Short Trooper in the secondary market at all. As a matter of fact, those have been trending up over, since that release. So, and I think because some collectors are going to perhaps want every version. Could this also be what happens with these Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi figures? I don't think on the same level of Short Trooper, or perhaps the way it happens with Boba Fett. I do think that, one of the things that, affects these prior releases of Luke Skywalker is, I think in some collectors' eyes, they're not great. You can see them here. I don't think they're great either, but I do think that they're good. And I don't think that Hot Toys is going to be reissuing a straight Return of the Jedi reissue of Luke Skywalker anytime soon, or a New Hope version, the iconic farm boy look as well. So I think, keeping that in mind, there's going to be some collectors that are going to want this Luke with the Emperor. They're going to want it with Darth Vader. They're going to want Endor Luke with Endor Leia. Maybe they're going to release an Endor Han. And of course the A New Hope Luke you can display with a lot of your A New Hope toys, which, they're all, very, very strong on the secondary market, the A New Hope figures. So I think that that's perhaps something interesting that we're going to have to keep an eye on and see, exactly what happens with these Luke figures. I do think they're going to come down, especially the Return of the Jedi prior releases of Luke Skywalker. But, maybe they won't go as far down as we think. And that's going to go ahead and take us now to the final segment of the show. Real briefly, we're going to close it out by just looking at there's been a few new movements in the market value chart. And so we're going to go ahead and take a look at that and see from the first episode what the difference is. So again, once you get to the market value chart on 6scalecantina.com, just click on the current value column, click it a couple times, and you'll see that the highest ranked all the way to the lowest ranked will be in order. So let's go ahead and take a look. So Tarkin and Vader, that went ahead and trended up even more from the first episode. I explained then that I thought I was going to be putting an arrow on here too. Look, this 2-pack has a couple of things going for it. Number one being Grand Moff Tarkin, which is one of the best releases by Hot Toys ever. And the Darth Vader figure in this is not a straight A New Hope reissue. It has some differences. It's more movie accurate, and it's the only way to get that Darth Vader. So I think that that's something going for this 2-pack. Also, I don't think they're going to be reissuing A New Hope Vader anytime soon. You have, I think they're going to release a Return of the Jedi version of Darth Vader. I do think you're going to get a Revenge of the Sith version of Darth Vader. I think Hayden Christensen being in the new Obi-Wan series, you're probably going to get that version of Darth Vader. All those versions of Darth Vader before you get a New Hope version of Darth Vader. So I'm not surprised that this 2-pack is trending up. Grand Moff Tarkin by himself is trending up. We talked about that in the last episode. So that's one of your big movers here, $828 and rising. Second one here I want to speak to is going to be Darth Maul the Solo release, DX18. So that in particular figure has moved up right now to $337 and rising. I mentioned in the last episode that if I thought if you wanted to get this figure, that now is the time. So if you know you're going to get this figure, I would get it now because I think that it's going to continue to go up. I think that this figure will probably land and settle out, level out somewhere in the low 400s. And I do think the DX16 non-deluxe of the Phantom Menace release is going to be right there along with it. So, this in particular figure is a really strong release by Hot Toys. You could see there, it's got great paint apps on the head sculpt, on the chest. The tailoring is awesome. The robotic legs. It's just a really strong release. And you could see here on Sideshow that this in particular figure was on waitlist, and the waitlist is full. So, I do think that if you do plan on getting this figure, I think that now is the time to go ahead and pull the string on it. So that's your couple of movers here from the Market Value Show, and that's going to conclude the second episode of the Market Value Chart Show here at 6 Scale Cantina. Hey, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate the support. Please go ahead and bookmark 6scalecantina.com. And hey, anybody who's watching, if you could spread the word around about 6scalecantina.com, really appreciate that support. We put a lot of time and effort. This has been a real big labor of love to really establish a sound foundational base, foundation for this database, which I think is going to be a lot of fun for the community and really serve collectors as a real general guide to not overpay on some outrageous price on a figure to have this guide. So again, really, if you can go ahead and spread the word around about the market value chart and 6scalecantina.com, it's much appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button. And, don't forget also to please go ahead and like us on Facebook. I got the link in the description of this video. And also follow us on Instagram. I appreciate that. So I will close with, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. See you next time.